One time, hey, throw your hands to the sky tonight, cause I think I see the...
Man, screw the intro, man. Craziness has happened these past couple of days, man.
He stole my line. That's my line.
Listen, I had to steal it. I had to steal it because there's just so much stuff that's going on in the NBA that we have to talk about. And we already know the elephant in the room, and that is number one, Kevin freaking Durant. But we'll get to Kevin Durant in a minute. But I just want to talk about everything that's just transpired. How do you feel about just the recent events happening in the NBA, the trades and the signings, man?
This is more interesting than the finals, in my opinion.
What?
Yes. I've been more engaged with the news and how the teams is doing things than I was with the finals. Now, obviously, let's address this. What are the Timberwolves doing?
You want to go to that first?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go KD later. What are the Timberwolves doing? They think Rudy Gobert moves the needle. That is not the reason they lost to the Grizzlies. They lost to the Grizzlies because, one, their star player wasn't showing up, and two, they ain't have no bucket getters. They was relying on Pat Bev buckets to keep them in the game. And then when they had leads, they'd blow them because they had no bucket getters. They wasn't attacking the paint. The coach for the Timberwolves, he was folding. I don't think, and then they gave away a lot of their wing pieces, which made them versatile and threatening on the perimeter. They gave him away to get Rudy Gobert, who can't exploit a mismatch. Great defensively, but he's not really providing much of anything offensively. So I'm really just confused. Do they expect Ant Edwards to do everything?
Pretty much. I mean, it's just... did they think this is 1999, where you could just have two Twin Towers? You know what Stephen Curry, you know what Luka, you know what Kyrie, you know what Dame is going to do when they see Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns on the switch. It's going to be barbecue chicken, bro. And y'all didn't need Rudy Gobert. Your defense was already really good as it is. When we watched the Grizzlies series, you could argue that the Minnesota Timberwolves probably played the best defense out of any other team because they were able to just shut down John Morant entirely. John Morant, I was wondering, is he made for the lights? Is he folding under the lights? No, it was their defense. Patrick Beverley, Anthony Edwards, they were doing a phenomenal job on him. Karl-Anthony Towns, he was doing good in the interior as well. Why would you trade for a guy that's going to mess up your spacing? And when you get on a switch, when they're out on the perimeter, it's barbecue chicken. Now, Rudy Gobert, he's phenomenal in the interior, obviously. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. You have to give him credit in that much. But overall, in terms of just the offensive game plan for the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's going to be stagnant. Anthony Edwards, how's he going to be able to drive to the paint and do what he wants to do when Rudy Gobert is on the floor? And you're paying the man $200 million. Not a smart move. And he gave up all those, those picks? I forgot how many picks, like 4 picks? Yeah, it was a lot of picks, man.
It was. And they gave up Jared Vanderbilt, I believe. Yep. They gave up Malik Beasley, Pat Bev. They might have gave up another person I can't remember, but it was a lot for Rudy Gobert. I was like, yeah. Shoot, hey, Brian Windhorst, he caught it, though. He called it.
Yeah, he said, yo, watch Utah. My man Brian Windhorst, he was looking like
man, he was like an anime character figuring stuff out.
Looking like Light Yagami. No, he was looking like what's that dude? L. He was looking like L out there, John. Thinking, it's like why would they do that? It's like this and everything. I'm like, man, dude was on one that day. Yeah, man, it just made no sense, bro. Utah Jazz, they fleet. I wouldn't. What we call it a fleece?
I don't say it's a fleece. It's just.
It's just a dumb trade overall.
I don't think they needed Rudy Gobert. I think they jumped the gun there for sure. They could have got like Miles Turner or something.
Yes, that would have been way better.
And kept way more depth pieces and picks.
He can shoot, better offensive player.
And he's good. He's pretty solid defensively.
Yeah. So and
he's not going to take. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Not going to cost us. Probably going to have to give him maybe 3 first-round picks because Indiana, they think that Miles Turner is that much. But hey, at least you get to keep one extra first round pick than you did with Utah. So it just didn't make a lot of sense. Now Utah, on the other hand,
rebuild
pretty much, but they think there's a report out there that they're like, you know what, we want to build around Donovan Mitchell.
As if he would play.
Let's stop it.
If I'm Donovan Mitchell, I'm like, man, let me get the heck up out of here, because this not a serious organization.
For real, like it just makes no sense.
Just send a man to Miami and get it over with.
Yeah, but the thing with Miami, what are they going to give up? That's the thing, like, because
I mean, they trying to get KD, but honestly, shoot, it's cheaper to get Mitchell than KD.
They can't get KD because of it's the situation with Bam Adebayo's contract. I think it's like a rookie extension, whatever, where because they got Ben
Simmons.
Yeah, they got Ben Simmons, who also got a rookie extension as well. So that's just crazy in itself.
You give up Bam to get KD?
Absolutely, for sure. But unfortunately, they're not able to do it because of that whole rookie extension sort of situation in itself. So Miami is unless they want to give up Jimmy Butler, which they're not going to do. Because,
you can't give up Jimmy.
Kevin, I believe there was a report.
Kevin Durant said he wants to play with them three.
Yeah, he wants to play
with
Jimmy.
Kyle Lowry. I'm like,
he wants to play with Jimmy and Kyle Lowry. I mean, Kyle Lowry's not the best, but he's a veteran point guard. Good chemistry-wise, but overall, Kyle Lowry doesn't move the needle. Phoenix, on the other hand, they don't want to give up Devin Booker.
Let's not it's very shameless for him to want to go to the number one seeds in both conferences. That's pretty shameless if you ask me.
It is, but he
running from the grind. Players like Steph Giannis, they get it out the mud, but hey.
I'm hearing like Toronto, they trying to trade for him. I think the best trade package would be the Pelicans, because Brandon Ingram.
You giving up Brandon Ingram for KD?
I'm giving up Brandon. I think if I'm the Nets, I think the Pelicans is the team that I want to do a deal with because of Brandon Ingram. Hey, if they want to give up Zion, hey, I'll take Zion too. Even though he is coming back from that.
Didn't he just sign that contract?
He did. But have you seen? He looks like he's in shape. He's putting in work. So, hey, I'll take that chance. Dude's 26-7. What is he, 22 years old, 21, 22 years old? I'm taking that chance. I don't know about you. Dude's relatively young. He's a physical freak of nature. Sure.
I'm not giving up Zion. No way.
Yeah.
Especially for 34-year-old KD. No.
But Brandon Ingram, I'm definitely going to take my chances in trading Brandon Ingram from Kevin Durant, though. So if I'm the Pelicans, I would do that. But it remains to be seen.
Definitely a tough call, a business decision. I mean, obviously, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, give up. But, like, I'm team keep the young guys together and let them develop.
But do you think Brandon Ingram will ever be to the level of Kevin Durant, though?
No.
Then isn't it a no-brainer? Like, this is arguably the best player in the world. You have an opportunity to possibly compete for a championship. When will you ever get this opportunity again? I mean, I like Zion, I like Brandon Ingram, but are they really going to be at that level where you could say, okay, we're going to compete for a championship?
You gotta.
I'm just saying.
What? You don't think the Pelicans can compete
for a championship? Are we sure that Zion and Brandon Ingram have it in them where they'll eventually be able to be on that level where you can say, okay, they can compete for a championship?
Maybe not. Ingram, he possibly could get better. Zion, sure, but Ingram, man, it's a little more. I think we've seen what Brandon Ingram is for the most part. I mean, but like the way he was playing in the playoffs, I mean, he played better than KD.
He did. I agree with you. Let me ask you this, because the whole Kevin Durant situation. Again, the Brooklyn Nets, they want a young star. They want a rising star, young star like a Brandon Ingram or maybe a Devin Booker, and like obviously they want a boatload of picks. What do you do? Do you abide by Kevin Durant's sort of request that he wants to go to either Phoenix or Miami, or do you say, hell with that, I'm trying to get the best trade package, so I'm going to send you, if Pelicans have the best trade package, I'm going to send you to Pelicans. If Toronto has the best trade package, I'm going to send you to Toronto. What would you do?
If I'm the Nets, I'm looking back at the history. You know what I'm saying? We, got Kyrie on board. We got James Harden for you. We got Steve Nash for you because y'all say y'all didn't even really need a coach. You know what I'm saying? Put you in positions to win. And then you going to say, screw y'all, I'm on a trade. I'm going for the best package. I'm sorry. But what have you done to really earn the right to be like, I want to trade me here or here? I'd be like, excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. Especially, I don't know, man. Just this whole era.
And the thing is, it's different between KD and Kyrie has the leverage because his contract expires next year. But KD, didn't he just sign like a deal or something like last year?
4 years,
yeah. So he doesn't really have the leverage. He ain't gonna sit out on another team for 4 years because he'd be retired by then.
Right.
So yeah, I send KD to where they give me the best assets. You kidding me?
Yeah, I don't blame Sean Marks for saying, yo, I want a young star player like a Brandon Ingram or a Devin Booker.
Because they ain't got no picks. They got to get talent back.
Absolutely. So I don't blame Sean Marks at all, especially since Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are trying to leave you high and dry like this. They nasty. Let's get it out the way. Them two guys been nasty towards the Nets, bro. They've been doing them dirty. Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant, he's showing up to work. Sure, he's been injured, but all he wants to do is play basketball. He wants to win. But you gave Kyrie Irving all of this power, all of this leverage. You allowed this to slide. When you could have been like, you could have put your foot down and said, Kyrie, enough. And he probably would have listened to you. Because y'all are buddies. But no, you were like, do you, Kyrie, do you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't care that Kyrie didn't take the vaccine and all this other stuff. You let Kyrie do whatever you wanted to do, and you and Kyrie teamed up to go to the Nets. So I don't blame the Nets organization for being pissed off with both of those players, especially Kevin Durant, because he could have stopped all of this if he wanted to. He could have told the Nets, trade Kyrie right now, and it's okay. I'll still be with you guys. But no, it's like no. If you trade Kyrie, if you alienate Kyrie, I'm out of here. And it's like, why would you stick up with him? Stick up for that guy. For him, of all people. It's one thing if it's like, oh, this is like Stephen Curry or, I don't know, a player that actually plays for your team. This is Kyrie Irving who, let's face it, man, he's not reliable. I just don't get it. So, Nets organization, you guys are not to blame for this. Although you knew what you were getting yourself into with Kyrie Irving. Let's get that out the way. You're not excused for this.
I think they just got. I think they got desperate. Honestly, if the Nets didn't have the assets to trade for them, they wouldn't have went to the Nets.
Absolutely, yeah.
They probably would have went to. If the Knicks had the assets, they definitely would have went to the Knicks.
It's just bad luck, man. Like, you got Kyrie Irving, who is a bit of a head case. You got Kevin Durant, who we all know, top 3 in the league, whatever. So it was a package deal, a sense. And then James Harden, that sort of flops. You have to trade him away. And then you get back to
James Harden said, Kyrie a weirdo. Let me get up out of here.
He was like, yeah, I'm done with all this Illuminati theories and the world is flat theories and all that stuff. I'm getting the hell out of here. But yeah, and then all of a sudden you trade for a guy that doesn't want to play because of mental health reasons, which I'm not. Hey, mental health reasons is a serious thing. I'm not excusing that. I'm not saying that it's not a serious thing. But there's some things that I gotta say, Ben Simmons. I'm looking at you a little skeptical. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the stuff that you are trying to say that you're dealing with, I don't know. Maybe you could have played, especially with your back. You're saying, okay, the surgery on your back, it probably was hurting, so you definitely weren't faking it. But at the same time, I still think you could have played. So you had that issue going around. So it was just a whole lot of things, and yeah, the Nets, man. Don't get the best deal, Nets. Get the best deal. That's all I got to say.
I think I seen a report. They said they don't plan on accommodating Kyrie. Yeah.
Bullshit. bullshit. Let's get to Kyrie because obviously I'm wearing my Lakers jersey and everything. But don't
Shameless organization and fan base.
the thing. I said this last week. I'm not a fan of Kyrie to the Lakers. I'm not gonna hate it, but I'm not gonna love it. I'm still saying that right now because the only reason I like the trade is because Russell Westbrook's off the squad. That's it. That is it. But
Nasty work.
Kyrie Irving is a risk. Yeah, LeBron James. They played together before. They're both still cool, whatever. But Kyrie Irving, he's just gotten worse, man. Not from a play perspective, but in terms of just being a distraction. He's gotten worse. And so we are, like, again, I said, already had Russell Westbrook, who was a distraction, who was a disaster on the court. Kyrie Irving, he fits way better with LeBron because they won a championship together. But will he listen to Darvin Ham? Will he listen to LeBron James? Will he listen to a guy like Rasheed Wallace, who we all know Rasheed Wallace, he don't play. That man, he will. Hey, you saw KG call out Anthony Davis on Twitter.
I didn't watch the full.
That's what Rasheed Wallace is going to do to Anthony Davis, going to do to Kyrie Irving every single day. You think Kyrie Irving going to take that? I don't think so. So that is a risk in itself. But
you saying Kyrie don't got that dog in him?
Nah, he got that dog in him. I'm just saying he's sensitive, man. Dude is too sensitive. He can't take constructive criticism, man. That's what I'm afraid of. Because if that was the case, then he would still be on the Nets probably. But no. He's just like, nah, I don't want to deal with y'all no more. You guys saying all this stuff, saying, oh, because he don't want to be, he want to take time off because of mental health reasons or because of the vaccine, y'all not going to back me and all that stuff. All right, I'm going to leave. It's just stupid stuff like that. So, again, we're going to get rid of Russell Westbrook, so that's a plus, but I don't love the trade at all. People looking at me all sideways. Jalen, like, are you crazy and all this stuff. Like, Jalen thinks that, like, the whole, when I said, yo, Lakers, get Lonnie Walker. He going to quote tweet it and with that emoji, whatever. Like, he all, like, I forgot what emoji it was, but it was just like one of those emojis where you just look at me sideways and all that, like I'm crazy or something. And then we got Lonnie Walker, and then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I got to give you your flowers. Yeah, because I called it, and you should listen to me, bro. God, now with Kyrie Irving, you should listen to me too. But no, you all smiling and everything like that. These Laker fans, man, they just be looking at me all crazy all the time, man. But I try to tell them.
If the Lakers do get Kyrie, y'all better hope and pray that old man in LA gets another ring. Because if he not, it's gonna be, it's gonna be nasty work. Nasty work.
Tell the people what you told me. Okay.
You trying to give me burned at the stake? Okay.
Hold up. What did you tell me you would? What would you tell me that you would do if LeBron James didn't win another ring with Kyrie Irving?
If the Lakers get Kyrie Irving, and they all stay healthy, they got to be healthy. I'm not going to knock them if people was hurt. But if it was a fully healthy, they got a fully healthy run for the playoffs with Kyrie, LeBron, and AD, and they don't win a ring, I'm dropping Braun to 3 on my list.
See what I mean? You know, like, what is he talking about? Like, dude is crazy. He's a hater. Like, listen, I'm not a LeBron fan, but I acknowledge greatness. Dude,
yeah, he's great. Yeah, that's what's up.
And you're gonna drop him?
Yeah.
So what if they go to the finals and they lose?
I give him a pass.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, what if Kevin Durant goes to like the Suns or something, and they got Booker and they got Chris Paul and they lose in the Western Conference Finals? Or what if they lose to Golden State in the Western Conference?
Oh, that's gonna be even worse.
So you're gonna drop him a 3 if they lose to Golden State?
Yeah.
This guy right here. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I have to deal with, man. You telling me Kareem would be better than LeBron?
Yeah.
Absurd. You're absurd, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Stop this. No, I don't even want to get into that, man. You just crazy.
Breaking news: Darius Garland signed a max with the Cavs.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, this is as expected. You know, he had a breakout year, All-Star. Has improved every single year that he's been in the league. So, well deserved. Congratulations, Darius Garland.
That man is a parlay goon. That's my dog right there.
Absolutely, a good fantasy player. Definitely, probably. I haven't played on him on 2K, but he's probably good on 2K too.
That dude. If you played I've played like my league in my career game. That dude is a demon.
Oh,
it's like he's just way faster than everybody. I'm like, how are you supposed to stay in front of this guy?
Dude is a really good player. But
let's pivot into the Hawks. What the Hawks did.
I was just about to say that.
See, great minds think alike.
DeJounte Murray. How do you feel about the Hawks trading for DeJounte Murray? Do you think they Do you think they gave up too much for DeJounte Murray, or was this enough?
No.
Okay.
I mean, DeJounte Murray's like a 20, 10, and 7 guy. Like, that's a good pickup. Yep. And he's still young, you know what I'm saying? He takes a lot of the pressure off Trae Young. So now teams can't just be like, oh, playoff time comes, let's just double Trae Young and win and trap him. You can't do that no more. They did end up losing their backup PG DeLon right to the Washington Wizards. Exactly. We don't care. But anywho, yeah. I think it's a good. I think it's a good trade. They got rid of. I think they traded away, or some other team signed Kevin Huerter, which I don't mind because Kevin Huerter was not hooping. So they still got DeAndre Hunter. I think they still got.
John Collins.
Yeah, they still got John.
Clay Capella. They're trying to get rid of John Collins.
Yeah, I would too, to be honest. But yeah, they still got Clint. I think they could make a little noise. You know, they could be a 5, 6 seed, 4 seed, something like that. You know, I just don't see them being better than like Milwaukee, Boston Heat, or you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying,
or the 6. I don't think they'll be better. So they're like the lower end of the playoff
like
team.
6 seed, maybe.
I don't think they're a playing team though.
Not a playing team?
Nah. Wow. I think they'll get in at 6.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Of course, yeah. 6 seed. Number 1, John Collins. I believe he had the opportunity, maybe it was a year or two ago, to sign like a $100 million contract, but he decided not to. So just a dumb move right there. You should have just got the money.
Take the money.
Take the money and run. But he decided not to, and you see reports that Wizards trying to get John Collins, or maybe the Hawks are trying to trade for John.
And I bet they get rid of Kuzma to get John Collins too, like a bunch of idiots.
I don't know. Why would you want John Collins?
He be getting hurt. Like, I'm confused.
Yeah, exactly. And he hasn't improved. Like, he's been the same player for the past 2-3 years now. So
ever since he tried to dunk over that plane, that was the worst dunk ever.
That was cool.
He even clipped the. Oh my! It was all bad.
Yeah,
shout out to the Spurs, man, because DeJounte, they told DeJounte, like, man, we finna rebuild. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you to ruin your career. We gonna trade you. Shout out to the Spurs, man. Stand up org.
They want that guy from France, Victor, whatever.
Man, it's gonna be a nasty tank for that guy.
Oh my God! Was he 7'3"? Block shots, he can handle the rock.
I heard someone say he only averaged like 6 points though.
I saw it too. Probably because he's like, what's he, 17?
He's like 18
years old. Dude is real skinny and everything. So they probably, just like with the NBA, when guys like back in the day when the guys were like 18, 17 years old and they're real skinny, they're not gonna give them much minutes, but they see the potential. They see the.
You got to take a gamble on the intangibles and alone.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how the league sort of maneuvers towards trying to get Victor. I'm not even gonna try to say his last name because it's long as hell. So please excuse me for that. But yeah, Atlanta Hawks. I like the dynamic duo. There are
you could slide Trae down to the 2. Just let DeJounte facilitate.
There are concerns. They say, well, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, they need the ball in their hands, but I think that they'll be able to adjust. I don't think it's like a Russell Westbrook situation. I just think that that dynamic duo, are they the best duo, like guard duo in the league? I mean, in the Eastern Conference.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah, because you have Jalen Brunson and
We're gonna get to that later. We gonna oh my goodness.
Who was it?
You got Garland and LeVert.
I don't know. Does Jimmy play the 3 or he play the 2 in Miami?
He plays the I wanna say the 3. I think they have like during the regular I think they have like Duncan Robinson or Max Strus playing the 2.
He doesn't count. Yeah, they're probably the best. That's crazy because in the past they've had they're the best guard duo. That's wow. I guess so. So yeah, they're the best guard duo in the Eastern Conference. You can sort of hide Trae Young on defense, and you can put DeJounte Murray on your best guard, the best guard defender on the squad. So he's a really good two-way player. And yeah, you said triple-double watch, triple-double machine as well. So yeah, I really like DeJounte Murray. Remains to be seen. Hopefully it works out. And
Atlanta's a way better place to live than San Antonio.
Sure. Greg Popovich needs to retire.
He's got the all-time win record. I don't know if any coach is going to beat that for a very long time. He's done. He's solidified.
Listen, old man. Retire. It's okay. I get it. You love the game. You won 5 chips. You're the second greatest coach, arguably the best coach of all time. It's okay. All the NBA players respect you and everything like that. Just retire. It's all right. Pass it down, you know what I'm saying? Let somebody else coach the Spurs. You probably already have an assistant right down the line that's waiting to coach. Ime Udoka was on the Spurs staff at one point. You could have had him coach it, but you decide, you know what, I don't want to remain.
Especially since they about to rebuild. He don't want to sit through that.
Maybe it's the money. I don't know, but you already got enough money as it is, man. You're old. Retire, Greg, please. I'm tired of seeing you coaching a losing team. Please. I just wanted to get that.
Oh, my God. Okay, I wanna. Oh, boy. The Washington Wizards.
Bradley Beal. Let's talk about it.
They every year is just agony and pain and distress. Why would? Oh my goodness.
Bradley Beal, $250 million supermax deal. Let's talk about it.
Bradley Beal is not a $50 million a year player, and I get it. You're the Wizards. You're like, well, we don't have no star. We don't have any star power. We got to get these fans in the seat somehow. But we were 26th in the league in attendance last year. 26th to 30th is not going to be that much of a drop off. Y'all need to listen. Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet now in hopes of a better future. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers had to do it. Right. And imagine how embarrassing it was for the Lakers to be such a renowned organization held in the upper echelon of the NBA, having all those down years. But guess what? They got the tank happened, they got Lonzo, Ingram, Hart in them. They had the assets to trade to get LeBron, AD, and guess what? They won a chip.
Yes, sir.
Like the proof, like it's exactly. Like I don't understand. You got it. Sometimes you got to sacrifice now to eat later. Like I just don't understand. I think this move set the org back another 10 years.
And if you tank, the ends justify the means when it comes to tanking sometimes. Now, if you're Philadelphia, on the other hand, then it might be.
They just drafted bad. Yeah, because like a lot of their pick, Jair Smith or whatever, Zaire Smith didn't pan out. Jaleel Okafor ain't pan out. Fultz ain't, but that's just bad draft. That's just unlucky drafting.
Now there was conspiracy like he got
they messed up his shot or something like that.
In a motorcycle accident or whatever, or that's what there was. Something like that. He got injured in a motorcycle accident, messed up his shoulder. The other thing is they changed his shot. I don't know how. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, that was crazy and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, when it comes to tanking, the ends justify the means. You have to just go on a full rebuild, and you're just gonna have to. It's just gonna have to be that way in order to get back to relevancy. Because I remember back in the days when the Wizards were just god awful. Like I'm talking. They weren't getting no national television games at all. I remember when they started getting good, I was like, damn, why are they not on national TV? And I remember, they was.
It's just the Washington sports things. Because like, even when the Nats won that World Series, you ain't really hear much about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's just a DC sports thing.
And that's crazy because you would think DC, one of the biggest cities in the world, not in the world, but in the U.S. in itself, you think that, hey, they would get more coverage. But
that's because most people just think DC, they think politics, so.
For sure. But, they got a lot of coverage. Once the Wizards
they get coverage for the wrong reasons.
Once the Wizards started to consistently win year after year, that's when they started getting sort of on national TV, especially with the Christmas Day game. Remember that with the Knicks? So, yeah, they were getting – once they started winning, they started to get coverage. But before then, it was like, damn, they were never on TNT. You barely see it. I don't think they ever was on TNT. And then ESPN, they probably get 1 game, 2 games. Like, it was bad. It was really bad.
Bad, nasty work. But yeah, I don't like this move. They should have just let Brad walk. But I guess they want to retain fan attendance to sell tickets or whatever. Whatever, man. I don't have no hope for this org, man.
They just want somebody that they can market.
I'm not a fan at all.
Let's talk about the Knicks. It's official. Jalen Brunson is a New York Knick. Now, we all expected this. It was the worst kept secret in the league, as we all
I'm
know.
surprised the Knicks don't get hit with tampering.
Serious? Well, you saw the tweet where they said, well, the Mavs offered him this number of money, and then I don't know if it was you, it was somebody else that like retweeted it or quoted it and said that this is a way to avoid tampering. So yeah, the Knicks finally got Jalen Brunson, and the thing with Jalen
does not move the needle.
Definitely doesn't move the needle. But I think what the Knicks are, they look at Jalen Brunson as maybe he's a diamond in the rough. Maybe he's somebody that if he gets more opportunities that he can eventually become an all-star level player like a Fred VanVleet. You know what I'm saying? Because Fred VanVleet, he was backing up Kyle Lowry. He was a good sixth man. And we knew that Fred VanVleet was a good player, but I did not see Fred VanVleet as an all-star. Then all of a sudden he gets more minutes, he improves, and eventually last season, all-star player. And now I think he got an extension, got a $100 million extension, whatever. And so I think 5 years, maybe was it 5 or 4, whatever it was, but pretty much kind of the same as Jalen Brunson. But I think that's what they're probably projecting him as, sort of in that tier. Maybe DeJounte Murray, Fred VanVleet, that sort of tier, right? Drew Holiday, and that's a big gamble. That is a really big gamble.
So do they expect him to play point guard?
I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a gamble. It's a real gamble because Jalen Brunson. I mean, this year I think he played maybe 50 or 60 games starting. Maybe I think this is the first year he actually started. He actually started for more than like half the season. But then the playoffs rolled around and he just went off. Like without Luka, he was just going crazy. I think he had a 40-point game against the Jazz, maybe.
And then the Warriors came and was like, no.
Yeah, let me show you what a real team is. And so
honestly, he wasn't even really getting off against the Suns either.
He wasn't. It was the first round.
Yeah, the first round he really started carrying. Then he'd have like games here and there.
Yeah, where he sort of showed up. But I think that's where the Knicks probably was like, okay, without Luka, he was going crazy, so maybe he can sort of do that with us. But I don't know, man, because you could argue that, well, the Mavericks with Jason Kidd, that whole system, you could say that maybe it's the system that sort of helped him, because the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau,
it's be a lot of minutes.
Yeah, then you got Julius Randle on the court.
I'm surprised they haven't shipped that boy off to Shanghai at this point, because he is not cut out for the league.
And then RJ Barrett, he's trying to prove himself. He's trying to prove that he can reach that all-star level, like with his other contemporaries like Ja and Zion and all those other players as well. So you have that to sort of worry about. So it's a big gamble. Remains to be seen.
The Knicks are going Nick.
I could be wrong, but I don't see this going well for the Knicks.
All this for a play-in.
For possibly the ninth or eighth seed. I don't even think are they a ninth seed?
Listen,
the
only team they not going to be better than the Cavs, and they probably not going to be, and they may get in at the ninth. They may, cause the Nets are gonna blow it up or whatever they're gonna do, and oh my goodness, the Hornets in a terrible spot.
Hold up. Let me say something, because the Knicks are so bad. Even without Kyrie, even without Kevin Durant, the Nets are still better than them. Think about it, because whoever they get back from Kevin Durant with Ben Simmons, paired with Ben Simmons, they're still better than the Knicks, because Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and R.J. Barrett. Come on now, that's not even a playoff team. But if you add let's say you get Ben Simmons, DeAndre Ayton, and maybe like a couple of players, that's still better than the Knicks. That is still better, because you got an all-star level player in Ben Simmons, DeAndre Ayton, who has all-star potential capabilities, who's like an 18 and 10 guy, who give you like 2 blocks a game. Like, I'd rather have that than what the Knicks have. So, yeah, that's
I kind of disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah.
Really? Man.
Ben Simmons, I mean, we know who Ben Simmons is.
Listen,
they just lost Bruce Brown,
I understand,
which is...
I understand that the whole play with Trey, he passes the ball when Trey Young is in the paint, whatever, that comes to mind. And then all the 4 quarters in the Hawks series, he doesn't attempt a field goal. I understand that's still in your mind, but let's not act like Ben Simmons is not a all-star, all-NBA player for the past, 3-4 years. Let's not act like he didn't do that. Let's not act like without Joel Embiid, he wasn't still winning games with the 76ers. Dude was still doing his thing. So, I think Ben Simmons with DeAndre Ayton, they could still win some games in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And I think they're still better than the Knicks. It's the Knicks we're talking about, though. This is not the Raptors or the even the Charlotte. Ooh, Charlotte Hornets. Let me take that back. Yeah. Let's not talk about Charlotte. Matter of fact, we're gonna get to that. Because that was nasty. But I just think the Nets are just, even with Ben Simmons and DeAndre Ayton and whatever players and picks they get back, they're still in a better situation than the Knicks.
I mean, maybe. We'll see.
How do you feel about that, bro? In hindsight, just think about this. The Nets. So, think about this. Have you ever seen a team fumble the bag as much as the Nets? In 1 year, they lose Harden, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. No, I said Kyrie Irving. Think about that. If I would have told you last year that Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant wouldn't be on the Nets anymore, would you believe me?
I mean, it doesn't sound too out of the realm of possibilities.
Would you believe me that the Nets would get swept in the first
No,
round?
I wouldn't have believed you.
Bro, has there ever been a team that fumbled the bag that badly? There's OKC, obviously, but not that bad. 1 year?
No.
Is that, man, the Nets organization, I can just only imagine. There was a debate about where James Harden still ranks in the NBA today, because obviously in the playoffs he didn't look particularly well, and so in the group chat that I'm in, there's this guy who said that James Harden not top 20 right now. He's maybe he's maybe 25, sort of borderline 25, whatever. Where do you rank James Harden right now? After watching the playoffs, after watching the season.
He might be outside the top 20. Yeah, he might be outside the top.
You think he's 25?
It's possible. I gotta run through the whole list of players I think are better than him.
Okay, I'll give you some names.
Okay. Give me some names.
Let's just go to the 10 we already know.
Right.
10. So, Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
He's better than Jimmy Butler?
No, he's not better than Jimmy Butler.
All right. So, yes, he's not better than this player.
Okay.
All right. So, Paul George.
Yes.
Okay. Karl Anthony Towns.
Yes.
Whoa. After what he did in the playoffs? You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae Young's better. Trae Young's better.
Anthony Davis. Come on now.
Healthy, yes. Anthony Davis is definitely better.
Okay, all right. Jaylen Brown.
Heck yeah. That's easy.
Wow, okay. All right. I'm not even going to name Jason Tatum. That's automatic.
Yeah.
That's automatic, yes. DeJounte Murray. Let's be real. Come on now.
I don't want to say it.
Come on now.
I don't think he's better than Harden.
Okay, I was about to walk off the set if you would say yes.
No,
Okay.
he's not better.
Bradley Beal.
The lesser of the two evils. Harden is better.
Okay, all right. I was about to say. All right. Donovan Mitchell.
Put in a tough spot yet again. I still think. Ooh. Okay, so in my opinion, Donovan Mitchell's a top 5 shooting guard.
Okay.
I don't have James Harden as a top 5 shooting guard anymore.
So you have Donovan Mitchell over James Harden.
I'm going off like what I've seen that playoff run, and both of them really didn't.
The entire year as well. The entire year plus playoff run. Because James Harden, he wasn't himself the entire year. Let's face it.
I think Mitchell's better.
Okay. Wow. Donovan Mitchell better than James Harden. Okay. All right. Damian Lillard.
Come on now, Damian Lillard.
I was just making sure because a lot of people trying to put dirt on Damian Lillard's name because he missed all them games. And
he was hurt.
Exactly, but people fail to realize that. So I'm glad you said that. Brandon Ingram.
Ingram showed me more in the playoffs. I'm going with Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram over James Harden. John Morant.
Come on now. Let's not be silly. As much as I get on Ja, he's definitely better than James Harden.
Okay. All right. Bam Adebayo.
James Harden better.
James Harden? Okay.
I seen Bam fold too many times in the
CJ
playoff.
McCollum.
James Harden better.
Okay. All right. Anthony Edwards.
Give me Ant-Man.
Ooh, my God. Oh, man. I don't know how many names that is.
That's at least like 8.
That's okay. Wow. All right.
I got Garland over Harden too.
Whoa. Darius Garland over James?
Who made the All-Star team? Oh no, James Harden made the All-Star team too. Cause that was that whole joke where Chuck was like, "Is he healthy?" He was like, "Yeah, he got traded. He's healthy."
You think Darius Garland is better than James Harden?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. You better hope this doesn't come back to bite you, man.
James Harden, he could prove me wrong. He could prove everybody. But from what I'm seeing, if I had a draft choice between James Harden and Darius Garland, I'm going Darius Garland. For 1 year?
Yeah.
I'm going Darius Garland. He gonna show up in shape. He gonna He gonna commit less turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Give me Darius Garland, and he's younger and faster. Give me Darius Garland.
Wow. All right.
They both play the same amount of D. At least Darius Garland plays the passing lane.
LaMelo Ball.
I'm gonna go James. I'm gonna go James Harden. As much as I love LaMelo Ball, man.
Wow. Okay. Can't think of anybody else, but wow, all those names you said, wow. That just goes to show how far he is fallen. That we were having this discussion because not too long ago, James Harden was in the MVP conversation, and he was, you could argue, was top 5, maybe top 7, and now he's not even. A lot of people not even saying he's top 25. So it just goes to show just how bad James Harden has fallen. And I say it again, like the 76ers shouldn't have traded for James Harden. Like you should have just waited until the offseason when his contract expired. But they want to wait. They just thought it was title or bust. So hey, that's on them. But trying to think what else happened. Oh, the Celtics. Malcolm Brogdon got traded to this guy right here. He's not amused. He doesn't believe in Malcolm Brogdon, and I keep telling you.
I ain't say I don't believe. I just don't believe in the Celtics. Because order will be restored next year when Giannis and Chris Middleton comes to reclaim the East.
So you don't think Jason Tatum gonna get better or Jaylen Brown?
I think they will.
Okay, then they added another piece to the puzzle that they needed. Plus, those two guys are probably gonna get better. You don't think that puts them over the Bucks?
We know what would have happened if healthy Chris Middleton would have played. So.
What you mean? So?
Wasn't that run where they had Malcolm Brogdon made it? Wasn't he like a seller during that run?
Well, he did get. I remember he came back from injury.
Okay.
2019.
Yeah,
he did come back from injury. But that, first of all, that was.
And isn't he almost 30?
It's like I think it's like 28, 29. That's still good age.
Yeah.
That's his prime years. He just averaged 19 and 6 last year.
On the Pacers, on the Pacers as the number one option.
Okay, and he was still really solid with the Bucks as well. Everybody was like, "Why wouldn't you re-sign Malcolm Brogdon?"
A lot of money. I mean, shoot, it worked out for him.
That was true.
That's a good signing, obviously, but like, order will be restored. I trust Giannis in them more.
You think that the signing of Malcolm Brogdon won't
that doesn't solidify anything.
You think
all this to lose to the Bucks in 6 next playoffs?
Wow. Okay, a lot of hot takes, my guy.
Giannis, by his dolo, pretty much took them boys to 7. If we bring Chris Middleton back in this, a whole different story.
They didn't have a point guard that can facilitate the way that Malcolm Brogdon can. That can.
When did Malcolm Brogdon become Chris Paul?
Nobody said he's Chris Paul, but he's a guy that can initiate the offense. That's not a high turnover guy, and that can alleviate some of the pressure away from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Because we all know that those two guys were committing so many egregious turnovers in the playoffs. For crying out loud, Jason Tatum had the most turnovers in a single playoff run.
Yeah,
by a single player. So by having a guy that can initiate an offense, that I'm not going to definitively say he's a true one, but is a guy that has played the point guard position for pretty much the majority of his NBA career. I think this is a great signing for the Celtics.
Obviously,
because first of all, he's a leader. Because I believe on the Bucks, they said this man, you could say he can run for president, for crying out loud. The way that his leadership and all that other stuff, and the way that he talks. So we know he's a leader.
Right.
He's not like he's old. He's a really good defensive player, and he can score with the best of them. Well, I'm not going to say the best.
I'm about to say
he's a solid scorer for his position. He can facilitate the basketball, and he can play defense. Like, this is a really good signing for the Boston Celtics. And now Marcus Smart can just play defense.
They pretty much gave him away. I saw the trade. I was like,
yeah, Aaron Naismith.
What are the Pacers doing?
Now the question becomes, because I think that sure, yeah.
Man, send Tyrese Halliburton to the Wizards, man.
They're not going to do that.
I know.
They're not going to do that. But the thing here is that, Celtics fan, man, we're 10 deep now. Here's the thing. Peyton Pritchard, he's not going to get no PT. Let's get that out of the way. Like, he's not going to get no PT.
Not in a deep run.
Al Horford, he's getting up there in age. Will Al Horford still be playable down the stretch, especially when Stephen Curry was cooking this man on the drop coverage every single time? So how will Al Horford look next year? Because he's going to be getting up there in age. He's going to be like 36. That's a question mark. And then, obviously, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, are they going to be able to sort of improve and not turn the basketball over? Will Jason Tatum do a better job when it comes to sort of picking his spots on offense and shooting high percentage shots instead of trying to go hero ball every chance you get? Ime Udoka, will you finally, draw better plays for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum instead of asking him to play hero ball all the time? these are some question marks that we have for the Boston Celtics. But Malcolm Brogdon spells some of the problems for the Boston Celtics.
Yep, definitely helps out Jason Tatum.
So I don't know why you're sleeping on it. I don't understand that.
Because the real ball knowers know.
What has Milwaukee done this offseason to give you confidence?
They maintain most of their guys. They even got
Who they get? Because I know they re-signed Bobby Portis, but
yeah, they re-signed Bobby Portis, re-signed Wesley Matthews, guys that they needed to. They re-signed Javon Carter, who was good off the bench. They got Joe Ingles, but who cares about Joe Ingles? He had that one playoff run in the freaking Thunder, and no one cares. But I want to say they got somebody else, but I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, shoot, they maintained their core. So I mean, the only thing that killed them last year was health.
That is true. But man, the Celtics just another year, a year of improvement for Jason Tatum and Jalen.
That's what happens when you go to the finals. Players want to come play for you.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. I wonder what Miami is going to do, how they're going to, because they lost P.J. Tucker to the 76ers, so that's a big loss right there. I don't know why you sleeping. P.J. Tucker.
He's good, but he's just undersized, that's all.
He is, but he's a really good defender. He's an enforcer on the squad as well, a leader as well. So
definitely helps the 76ers.
Yeah, definitely. They needed somebody like that. So that's a big addition to their squad.
Man, if the Heat don't trade away Tyler Hero for another piece, man, they out there playing.
The Heat need to do something, because if they don't, they're gonna be worse than where they were this year.
The era of Jamal Crawfords and stuff is over. Y'all need 6 men is important, but Tyler Hero should either be a starter or he should be traded.
Do you still think the super team era is over?
Yeah.
You really do? Especially even if KD goes to the Phoenix Suns and Kyrie goes to the Lakers?
Listen, the basketball gods will not reward such foolishness. The super team era is indeed over still, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, remains to be seen. We'll have to see how it looks. But right now, you're looking right. I'm not going to lie. But what else happened that we need to sort of discuss? Because I think, the Clippers. So, Clippers signed John Wall. How do you feel about that?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
Why you love it?
Well, obviously, as a John Wall fan and Wizards fan, I mean, it's kind of hurt because I thought, but it makes sense why he doesn't want to come play for the Wizards again. I mean, they shipped him off and left him out to dry. I wouldn't want to play for them either. But as like a fit and scheme wise for the Clippers, I love it. The Clippers needed a guy who could facilitate, and John Wall don't got to be what he was on the Wizards. He just got to be better than Reggie Jackson. So, and not commit and not play hero ball, be a better playmaker, get into the sets, drive and kick kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? And he takes the ball out of Paul George and Kawhi's hand from him. I love it. That's a great scheme fit in my opinion. And they got him for cheap. 6 years for $13 million over 2 years. For a guy that who can still probably give you 15 and 8 and play good defense. Yeah, I like it. I like it
right
a lot.
Now, minus, let's say, Kyrie Irving, right now, before Kyrie gets traded to the Lakers, before KD possibly gets traded to the Suns, who is your favorite out west? When they're healthy.
When healthy?
When healthy.
Without Kyrie?
Yeah, without Kyrie, without Kevin Durant, possibly.
See, I want to say the Clippers, but the thing about the Clippers is they don't wake up for those games like against the Magic and stuff. Like, they drop those kind of games, but you need to wake up for them because history has shown the top 3 seeds in each conference have won a ring for like the past 2 decades. I seen a tweet. They listed all the seedings of the winners, and you got to get a top 3 seed. And the Clippers definitely suffer from not getting a top 3 seed. That's why they be getting them 7-game series with the Clippers and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say the Warriors. I'm gonna keep saying I'm gonna go with the champs. I'm gonna go with the champs.
Okay, I mean that's
the safe pick.
Yeah, that's the safe pick.
That's the safe pick. Because every time I put my faith in the Clippers, someone gets hurt and it all just goes downhill.
Clippers it's hard to really sort of
but
put
like,
your faith on them.
But when you look at the Clippers, it's like
they have so much.
Yeah. They got Norman Powell coming off the bench. They got John Wall. They still got Reggie. They still got Terrence Mann, Batum, Paul George, Kawhi, Zubac. They still got Rocco. Don't they still got Morris too?
Yeah, Morris.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
They got Zubac too. They signed an extension. They have a lot of talent now.
Yeah.
The interior, they're going to be
a lot of length on the court. Pause.
That's going to be the weak point in the interior because they don't have no size. But for overall, in terms of on-ball defense on the perimeter, they look very capable.
Yeah.
Defense, but
definitely
all comes down to health.
Yeah, that's the one thing. One slip on a step or something, and they season is cooked.
One thing I'll say. This is kind of a rant involving the Clippers. Talking about the media when they talk about the Clippers, is that every time they bring up the Clippers, they want to throw salt into the wound on the Lakers. It just blows my mind that why do you guys always bring up the situation with the Lakers?
The Clippers are the Chargers of the NBA.
It's like every time the media talks about the Clippers, oh my God, did you see what the Clippers did? Look at all the great moves they did. Look at how much depth they have. And then they want to bring up the Lakers. Like, literally, why don't you just talk about the Clippers? Analyze what the Clippers are doing instead of just always...
It's lazy journalism, that's all.
This is what
it's easy to say, LA Clippers, LA Lakers. Like, come on now.
This is why I agree with Draymond Green about sort of the media, the old media, always trying to create controversy and everything like that. That is one of the examples because every time media brings up the Clippers, they want to throw salt at the Lakers. And I'm like, okay, at the beginning I was like, all right, I get it because, the Lakers have been making some dumb moves in the past and everything like that. And there is LeBron, he brought in AD, the Clippers, they brought in Paul George and all that. So it's sort of, they trying to build up like a rivalry, whatever, even though it never manifested himself. But now it's just getting so annoying. I'm like, bro, we get it. The Lakers, they haven't done right. But at the end of the day, we won a championship. And they still haven't won anything. And they doing all of this. I get it. Life isn't fair. Sometimes you do all of the right things, but it still doesn't work out in your favor. We get it. There's a lot of resentment for the Lakers because they could be some garbage for 6 years, not do nothing right, and then all of a sudden they get LeBron James. They get Anthony Davis. I get it. But it gets annoying when y'all just try to create controversy off of nothing. Just off of the fact that you're talking about the Clippers' depth. You're talking about the Clippers' roster. It's like the media, they just want to be so right about the Clippers so much because they were wrong about them in the bubble when they just blew that 3-1 lead. They were so embarrassed that they're like, we're just going to continue giving you guys this Clipper propaganda, this Clipper trying to boost up the Clippers, whatever, because we want to be right. Like, no, just stop it. It's getting annoying.
And the thing that kills me is the media still, after all this time, it's been 2 years since the freaking Lakers made a deep run in the playoff. Why are they still talking about them like they're the top dogs in the team to beat in the West when the Warriors just won a championship?
Now, you know what's crazy? Like, it got so annoying because I remember this is when I just stopped watching like ESPN, like the media and all that other stuff. It's because during the NBA season, right, the Lakers were just continuously losing, right? It was around
and they always were like, oh, wait till this, wait till this.
They every single day, it's like, oh, are the Lakers? Do you think the Lakers will be able to make the play-in, make the playoffs? I'm like, bro, stop asking the damn question. It's going to be the same answer to no, it's over. I'm tired of hearing it. So I was like, all right, I'm done with this.
But then the Lakers, they beat the Raptors. It was like, oh yeah, we coming for the play-in. That's what the media was like. Once they that game winner against the Raptors or whatever happened, they was like, oh yeah. I was like, bro, come on now.
It just got so annoying, bro. Every single day, do the Lakers still have a chance to make the play-in or the playoffs? I'm like, y'all just want to slander the Lakers. Y'all just want to really just get your Laker hate on because it's not needed no more. We get it. Everybody understands the Lakers suck. Everybody understands it. And then y'all doing the same thing when you bring up the Clippers. We get it. Y'all love the Clippers. Y'all love what the Clippers have done. We understand. It's like they didn't blow a 3-1 lead. It's like Kawhi Leonard wasn't out for pretty much the entire season last year. Oh, but there's no concern. And Paul George wasn't out half the season. Oh, there's no concern for the Clippers because you like what they did this offseason and the years past with all the depth that they have now. You're not concerned. You're not going to say the Clippers are injury prone. You're not going to say when healthy. But when it comes to the Lakers, it's always when healthy. It's always an asterisk, right? It's just the double standard, man. Like, it just gets ridiculous, man. It just gets ridiculous. But
So you don't think the Lakers should be held to a higher standard than the Clippers?
Obviously, they should be held to a higher standard. I just think that the media tries so hard to create controversy when it comes to the Lakers when it's not needed. We already know what is going on with the Lakers. You don't have to keep repeating it over and over again. We get it. The Lakers suck. We get it. Rob Pelinka screwed things up. We get it. LeBron James, he screwed stuff up. Clutch Sports screwed stuff up. Anthony Davis screwed stuff up.
The league needs to investigate that agency. Because why in the world was all the Clutch clients signing with the Lakers? I don't like that. Some funny business going on.
Some funny business going on. Hey, man, it's Clutch Mafia. You know what I'm saying? That's how we roll out there.
We?
That's how we roll.
Oh, he said we. Oh, Lord.
I'm just playing.
Rich Paul does not know this man.
It's not a we. It's not a we. I'm just playing around. But, yeah, bro. It's just getting ridiculous. I want to talk about what KG said. You didn't see the video.
No, I
but
didn't.
KG.
I scrolled past it multiple times on the
I don't know
timeline.
why.
I just didn't feel like it. I saw it was like 3 minutes, and I was like, I don't feel like
KG,
listening to
he
it.
sort of went on a rant on Anthony Davis talking about, dude, what you doing, bro? Get in the gym. Put in some work. Put in that work, man. I want you to go for the MVP next year. You should be a top 5 player. I think KG did that. He was very irritated. Like, dude was, because he probably sees a lot in him. They have a similar play style, you know what I'm saying? Like 6'10", 6'11", is a 4 but plays the 5 sometimes, you know. So I think he looks at him and is like, dude, you should be right up there with Luka, with KD, with Giannis, with all these guys, with John Morant and all of them. Why aren't you? You should be an MVP in the MVP.
Man, he told y'all what it was already. He said he has nothing to prove.
And KG, you won an MVP. He won Defensive Player of the Year. That should be Anthony Davis. But he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't have that dog. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that mentality. And KG is like, dude, I want you to go for it. And he brought up Rasheed Wallace and how he's gonna hold him accountable. So I really like that he sort of confirmed just what Rasheed Wallace brings to the table and everything. So I like the future for the Lakers, especially Anthony Davis, because of Rasheed Wallace and all that. But yeah, Anthony Davis, again, please be in the gym. Please put some shots in. I see you're with Lethal Shooter, even though Lethal Shooter, you can argue he's a professional finesser when it comes to these NBA players. Because look at Kyle Kuzma, look at Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So I just need you to come back like you were in 2019 and 2020. That's all I want, man. Where is that Anthony Davis? That's
Not going to be able to do it.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
He told y'all what it was already. I don't know why y'all keep expecting this, man. See, Anthony Davis is suffering from what I call the Melo syndrome.
Ooh.
When Melo's on the Knicks, and he was, Melo, but then it's just like it, and then he just plateaued.
Nonchalant, indifferent about the situation.
Yeah.
He's like, I got my money.
All the talent in the world just is whatever.
Yeah.
He shows up to work and does what.
He's like, I'm in New York. I'm where I'm from. I'm good. We good out here. But then all of a sudden, people just got tired of it. It's like, dude, we're not winning, making all this money. Gotta do something about it. So, Remains to be seen. Hopefully Anthony Davis can get it together and he can improve. I like Darvin.
I mean, he can improve as much. If he get hurt again, I mean, ain't nothing you can do about that.
That's the thing. He's getting hurt. Just a lot of question marks, man. It's a lot. So so let's say, I was debating with people about this. Let's say Durant goes to the Suns and Kyrie goes to the Lakers. Who is the favorites in the West?
It depends if the Suns keep their pieces.
If the Suns keep Devin Booker and Chris Paul.
Do they keep Mikal Bridges?
Probably not.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough. And they probably gonna lose DeAndre Ayton. I'm gonna say the Lakers.
For real?
Yeah.
Cause listen,
they lost JaVale McGee too. Yeah, it's hard.
I'm being objective. I said the Warriors.
Oh, I thought you meant between the Suns and the
No, I'm saying.
The War. I'm going with the Warriors.
You going with the Warriors? Yeah, I would go to the Warriors because I just think that
I'm gonna take the defending champs.
I just look at what they've done, what they're going to continue to do with Klay Thompson. He's going to continue.
And Jordan Poole going to develop. Kuminga going to develop.
Andrew Wiggins.
Moody going to develop. Wiggins still there. They still got us.
So I'll probably go with the Warriors because I know what I'm going to expect from them, and they have that chemistry, they have that camaraderie. So yeah, I'll.
They got the confidence now, you know.
Yeah, and then speaking of the Warriors,
they got the Vincenzo.
We need to talk about what Draymond Green said on the podcast. So on the JJ Redick podcast, Draymond Green. First of all, there was a lot of stuff he said. Number one with Kevin Durant, and number two.
I need to watch that. I ain't seen it.
I watched the entire thing. It was amazing. Great podcast episode. But Draymond Green, he said that the Warriors probably wouldn't have won another championship without Kevin Durant. Now, listen, he's
Clutch
played,
affiliate. I'm not buying it.
He's played, so he has a valid point. I'm not going to say that he's not wrong. But let's not act like what happened, right? The Warriors and the Cavs. Now, he did say the Cavs figured him out. I'm not going to deny that because they kind of... You don't agree with that? You don't agree?
Harrison Barnes sold. And a little bit of help from the league and the refs, but that's a discussion for another day.
Stephen Curry, he was...
11 points in the Game 7 was nasty. I'm surprised that's not balled up more.
He was looking kind of sus out there, man. I don't know. But his explanation made a lot of sense, like in terms of Stephen Curry, why he wasn't sort of being as effective as he is right now in terms of he got in the gym, put on some muscle, and now guys can't just push him around and get him off his spot. He can actually get to where he wants to now. Like, before he wasn't, he was still a good one-on-one player, but now it's just because of his added strength, his added weight, he's able to do a lot of things that he couldn't do before. Like you just watch the Celtics series. Like dude was he was every spot, any spot he could go in, any spot he wanted to in the paint, 3-point line, mid range. It did not matter. The Celtics had no answer for it.
Barbecue chicken alert.
Absolutely. So I think that in that aspect, I would agree. But in terms of him saying that they wouldn't have won another championship, I think he's wrong about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Because what happened, I say this again, Andrew Bogut getting hurt was one of the key reasons why the Warriors blew that 3-1 lead, because they weren't able to stop LeBron from going to the rim anymore. Because before that, LeBron, he wasn't dropping that 40 points, that 27 triple-double in Game 7. He wasn't doing that stuff. It wasn't until Andrew Bogut went down that LeBron James was like, oh yeah, I can just go to the basket whenever I wanted to. Draymond Green gets suspended for Game 5. Andrew Bogut gets hurt in Game 5.
Harrison Barnes shoots like 5 for 20-something over the span of 3 games.
Just think about it. Like, Stephen Curry wasn't even going off. He wasn't going off. He only had one game where he went off, and they were still up 3-1. Think about that for a second. Stephen Curry had his worst finals. No debate. Worst finals. They were still up 3-1. That just lets you know that the Warriors were, I dare to say, far superior. Before Andrew Bogut went down, before Draymond Green went down, they were far superior than the Cavaliers. So this notion that the Warriors weren't going to win a chip without Kevin Durant. It's just false to me. Now, I'm not saying that Draymond Green's point isn't valid. Obviously, he played. But just to say that, it just seems like he's just trying to give Kevin Durant credit because people are, not trying to give him his credit, his dues.
That and there's a agenda being pushed.
Agenda. Nah.
Draymond is a clutch affiliate. I can't take his opinion on LeBron-related issues seriously anymore.
You know what it is? Because people underrate the Warriors' defense. They underrate their defense. Before Andrew Bogut went down, the Warriors were just doing a phenomenal job defending the Cavaliers. Like the Warriors, the 2016 Warriors, weren't just the best offense in the NBA. They were arguably the best defense in the NBA when they were healthy. So the Warriors were potentially going to win the championship really off their defense alone because offensively it was really Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. He did his thing in Game 7. It wasn't like they were going crazy on offense, right? Sure, the bench, they showed up. Occasionally, Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa, and all this other stuff. But the defense was really carrying them. And so I think the Warriors, because they were just renowned on defense alone, would have really had them win the championship. So I disagree with Draymond on that.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that either.
But do you agree about his sort of evaluation of Stephen Curry in terms of him sort of not getting a bucket whenever he wants to back then to now he's able to get a bucket wherever he wants to?
Yes and no.
Explain.
Because, let me think. I'm trying to think back to trying to replay that playoff 2016 playoffs through my head.
Let's do it because
2015 though he had the Cavs looking foolish.
Remember the whole Matthew Dellavedova sort of narrative? Oh, that was nasty.
That was the nastiest agenda push I've ever seen.
Curry stopper, Matthew Dellavedova, but then all of a sudden, I think it was maybe Game 5 or Game 4 or Game 5. He just went crazy.
Yeah, that was the nastiest push I've ever seen.
But yeah, I just think that consistency-wise, he has a point. Is that fair to say? He wasn't as consistent as he is now.
Right. I'll give him that, yeah. He's definitely got better as he got into more and more finals. Because
there was a point in time where I've been hearing people saying that, well, one-on-one Stephen Curry isn't the greatest. Like, sure, when it comes to the basketball.
They say he was a screen merchant.
They say, man, if he doesn't have screens, then what is he? And all this other stuff, sort of downplaying his greatness and everything. But I think his evaluation is spot on. He wasn't a guy that you just get the ball to and he gets scored whenever he wants to. Even though he still is the greatest shooter of all time. But even back then, he had like the best shooting season of all time, you could say, and stuff. So. Yeah, that was just crazy in itself. And then I forgot he said some other stuff that was interesting. Obviously, talk about NBA. Oh yeah, he brought up like new media, the definition of new media.
Are we new media? I want to say we are new media.
I guess we are. He brought up new media in terms of like what it's about. What is the definition of new media? And it's pretty much analyzing the game and not trying to start on, I guess, controversy. Not trying to start...
Based on previous statements I've made earlier, I might have broke that rule already.
Yeah, not trying to start unwarranted controversy, right? So, like, for instance, you see with the old, like, Stephen A. or Skip Bayless, how they'll, like, start controversy that there's nothing really to it, right?
Right.
And so Draymond's looking at it like, listen, that's what he's talking about when it comes to the old media and how they work. Now, the new media, what we're trying to do, we're actually trying to analyze the game, like actually teach the game, tell you exactly what's going on instead of saying, pushing all of these narratives and all this other stuff, right? Like, how did Stephen Curry score 48 points? How did Stephen Curry just cook the Celtics? it's not about he was just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
no, he exploited the Celtics drop coverage. Al Horford, he was looking like a statue out there when it came to defending Stephen Curry, stuff like that. And so I thought it was very interesting. I didn't agree that he said that Stephen A. was part of the new media. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
He said he was?
Yeah, he's a part of the media.
The ESP agents got him.
Yeah, man. I don't know what he's pushing.
I think he's. I remember once he said Stephen A. has some new media in him, but he just outright said he was new media in.
Yeah,
Wow.
He's part of the new media.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. And then he was talking shit about Skip Bayless. Like he just doesn't like Skip Bayless.
I mean, nobody likes Skip Bayless really.
I think the reason why, one of the reasons why, is because he's not. When it comes to Stephen A. Smith,
I think Stephen A. kind of calmed down about like the players and stuff.
no, it's not. I don't think it's necessarily that. It's the fact that Stephen A. he actually goes to the locker rooms. He actually engages with the players. Skip Bayless, on the other hand, he's not going to the locker room.
He used to, but
Back like
in the 90s.
In the 90s, but Stephen A. still does that, and I think players respect that because they can reach him.
Right.
Instead of going on a show and you have to protect every word that you say, or else people will misquote you, misconstrue what you said and everything like that. So you can have a private conversation with Stephen A. Smith, right? And he won't take whatever you say and report it on the air or anything. Skip Bayless, on the other hand, it may be a different story.
Yeah.
So I think that that's where players look at Skip Bayless and they don't respect him. He doesn't go to the locker rooms. He's not at the
games.
The games, whatever and stuff. He even says it himself. He doesn't like going to the games. He likes watching them on the television screen and everything like that. He's just in his office, at the studio, criticizing guys about something that's not true. Sometimes not true. Sometimes it is true, but he can just go off the rails a lot of times, like especially when it comes to Kevin Durant and LeBron James. And so just creating controversy off of that. Calling Kawhi Leonard number 2. Calling guys these nicknames that are, you could say, disrespectful. Bosh Spice. Westbrook.
Westbrook has been a name for like half a decade at this point.
Guess who started Westbrook?
Westbrook?
Skip Bayless.
Mm.
Think about that. So stuff like that is why players just don't.
What did Skip Bayless? Didn't he show up with a brick and LeBron jersey? And
Yes, he did. Yup. Yes, he did. Yes, he
that was
did.
hilarious. I'm sorry.
Yes, he did. So yeah, that's why players just don't respect Skip Bayless. Even though Skip Bayless, I watch him. He's hilarious. One of the things I like about Skip Bayless is he's not afraid to tell it to your face. Like the nickname that he had, he told Chris Bosh. He called him what is it?
Bosh Spice.
Spice to his face.
He said, I have no regrets calling you Bosh
And
Spice. I
Westbrook
said, dang.
Westbrook, you wouldn't say that to my face. Yes, he would say it to your face, and he would tell you why he's saying it to your face. So that's what I respect about Skip Bayless. He doesn't back down from nobody. So, but at the end of the day, Draymond, he doesn't like him. I think he had a one-on-one conversation with Damian Lillard, and I think Damian Lillard was the one that he sort of brought it up to the public, whatever, and then Skip Bayless sort of responded to him. But overall, I think that's probably the reason why players don't respect him. But yeah, I forgot. I don't think there's anything. I mean, sort of Kevin Durant was on the podcast. He didn't really say much except the fact that he has no like resentment towards the Warriors winning a championship. He was actually happy they won, and he said. Like that's bullshit. And then it's funny with Kevin Durant because he goes on these podcasts. All this stuff happens with Kyrie Irving and the Warriors and everything like that, and people want to know what the hell. How do you feel? Like answer the question. And he doesn't really say much. He's just like, okay, I'm happy. I'm not mad the Warriors won. I'm glad for Steph. I'm glad for Dre. I'm glad for Clay and everything like that. And then he doesn't say much about Kyrie Irving. He doesn't really address Kyrie Irving. Forgot. I don't think. What else? I forgot what else he said. But he doesn't really say a whole lot. So it's just, and then all of a sudden he rushes a trade. And then there's reports that the Warriors winning a championship may have been a reason why he possibly requested a trade, because he was like, yo, I see these guys winning, my former team, I'm trying to win, so these people try to stop saying that, oh, I can't win without the Warriors.
I mean, that's partially his fault, though.
It is.
That man wasn't hooping in the first round, so.
That's one thing. Kevin Durant.
When does the accountability come in?
That's a good point, because Kevin Durant, man, it's seeing your former team win a championship without you. That's bad. That's a bad look.
And if that is true that the Warriors influenced him, then it kind of gives merit to that quote that they say Draymond said to him. They said, "We don't need you. We can still." So that kind of, it makes it. If that's the case, then that quote seems more true and true by the day.
That's why I'm confused with Draymond, man. Why would you sort of defend Kevin Durant like that? It's sports. People say stuff they, in the heat of the moment, like how Jimmy Butler was trying to scrap with Eric Spoelstra. Well, they almost made it to the finals. So it's just sports stuff. That was nasty too, because a lot of the media was like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be bad, blah blah blah. It's gonna ruin the Heat, whatever."
Yeah.
The Heat chemistry, and I was just like, "No, it's not. No, it's not."
It's sports. Heat of the moment stuff happens.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
When do you think we're gonna get the news that Kevin Durant gets traded? Do you think it's gonna be?
It's gonna be a few. It's gonna be a few days.
I remember when he went to the Warriors. Was it July? Was it on 4th of July, or was it like before 4th of July? I forget.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. I think it might have been on 4th of July. I think that he there was news that he go to the Warriors. So I'm thinking that Kevin Durant. We're going to get news of Kevin Durant going to whatever team it is, either on 4th of July or after 4th, or the day after 4th of July. That's my prediction. What about you?
I think it's going to draw out a little longer.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you say that? Why you think that?
Just I don't know, just for drama purposes. I don't know.
I think it's a salary issue. It's really a salary issue thing, because especially if they're gonna try. They want to obviously going to trade Kyrie Irving more likely to the Lakers, but with Russell Westbrook's contract, right? It doesn't match with Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving is getting paid 37. Russell Westbrook getting I think 47 or 44, 47 million. So they have to figure that out as well. That's why
they said, I think it was a report that said that's on the back burner until they get this KD stuff sorted out.
So until KD gets traded, Kyrie Irving's not going to get traded as well. So I think it will get done either on the 4th or after the 4th, because I think that Kevin Durant doesn't want to have this on his mind as much anymore. I think he just wants to move on, get to his new team, and then you can just move on and just play basketball, because I think that having that on your mind during the 4th of July is just, I don't know, man. That's a time to chill, to relax and everything. So I'm thinking 4th of July. I'm thinking 4th of July. And then Kyrie Irving, he'll finally get traded to the Lakers, and then we can finally start pushing these agendas. Will you still have the Clippers over the Lakers?
Nope, I'm gonna do it strictly so I'm gonna build them up so I could tear them down when the fall happens.
So you're gonna make that mistake again?
What, for the Lakers?
Yeah.
I've been right the past 2 years.
What about the Clippers in 2019, 2020?
When I built them up and they disappointed me.
Yeah, with the Clippers?
Yeah.
You're gonna make that mistake
No,
again?
I'm gonna make the mistake, but this time it's gonna be for the Lakers. So I'm gonna pick the.
You see, y'all see this, right? He doesn't believe in the Lakers, but he's trying to jinx them.
Hey.
So remember that, people. He's faking it. He doesn't believe in the Lakers.
I believe in the GOAT LeBron to handle business.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to discuss that you want to discuss?
Let's take a minute to First, I hope the woman involved is okay. You know what I'm
Miles
saying?
Bridges. Yeah.
Miles Bridges, oh boy. Have you ever seen a bag fumble to this degree?
Can't think of
Besides like Deshaun Watson,
Nah.
but no, Deshaun Watson, he still got 3.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
He got
exactly.
fully.
Man,
Antonio Brown?
nah, I don't even
No,
think it.
no,
No,
no.
Antonio Brown, he got
Hold up.
chances though.
Antonio, listen, dude, all he had to do is come in on a Tuesday. Remember, he left the team, but if he would have came in like next week on a Tuesday, he would have had like $30 million guaranteed.
I mean, he got a ring out of it. Miles Bridges ain't got nothing
I mean, it's
but a
possible he still
but a
get ring.
possible rap career.
Nah, that was I don't understand.
That was a terrible.
That was a terrible decision. I don't understand how he could get himself in a situation like that. Seriously. Yeah, that Hornets franchise.
You said I seen them, but they said they took the offer off the table for him. So
Yeah, they're gonna
do you think a team takes on that chance?
I think he's gonna have to sign a 1-year deal for sure.
I want to say he's out of the league, but
I don't
you
think
know
he'll be out of the league.
some teams are
I
desperate.
don't think he's out of the league. I think he's gonna be a minute before he gets signed because of the whole domestic violence assault, that whole case, whatever. I think they want to see how it plays out, and then maybe after they get confirmation that, let's say, he's able to beat the case, then yeah, he'll get signed.
He ain't beating that case. I seen the post and the kid talking. He ain't beating that case.
Yeah,
No, he's not.
There's too much evidence against him.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah,
It's not looking good, bruv.
He's not gonna get signed for sure. It's unfortunate that a guy that has improved each of the past 4 years, and he's finally he's finally able to make generational wealth, $100 million possibly. He just throws it away on something just so stupid. First, it was the post about the lean, whatever. Him making rap videos.
He really think he a rapper.
Yeah, he really do. And
He rapping to get out the league.
yeah, he's Antonio Brown. Same thing Antonio Brown did, man. Except Antonio Brown wasn't making as nearly as much. Well, he wasn't going to make as nearly as much as Miles Bridges. And you just decided to throw it away.
You can't help stupidity.
Yeah, you can't help stupidity. So it's unfortunate, man. Speaking of somebody that might go to prison. Well, actually, no, because it's just civil cases. Deshaun Watson.
The suspension. Give him a year and a half. No, just kick him out the league.
So I think they already had a meeting.
Yeah, they concluded all of that.
Yeah. Now they're trying to figure out, okay, how are they going to hand down the punishment? And it'll be interesting because I think what's going to happen, because people talk about this, the NFL's going to get them a year suspension so they can look good, right, in the public, in the public eye. But then the NFLPA is going to demand that they cut it down to 8 games, and then that'll make the NFLPA look bad. And so, the NFL is going to be like, hey, we tried, we gave him a year suspension, so it's not our fault. It's not our fault we give them, if they decide, okay, we're going to knock down to 8. So, I think he's going to get a year.
I think so
I think
too.
he's going to get a
At
year.
least a year, in my opinion.
Either a year, and the lowest he'll get is probably 8. But I think it's going to be a year because of everything that has transpired with 24 cases.
It's just a bad look for the league, and they will make an example out of
He
you.
still has 4 cases that need to be resolved too. So it's not like he's out of the picture yet. It's not like he's free yet. So that's still going to be under the rug in itself. So yeah, it's going to be bad for Deshaun Watson. It's just a nasty situation. The Cleveland Browns,
Nasty business.
Baker Mayfield, I don't know how they're going to handle Baker Mayfield, when they're going to trade Baker Mayfield. It's remain to be seen. But Cleveland Browns, they screwed up. But yeah, is there any other things that happened in the sports world that we need to discuss?
Nah.
All right. Well,
That is the hot seat. I said, oops, that's the wrong. Oh Lord, we gonna edit that out.
Free agency special.
Yeah, coming from the Courtside View Podcast.
Any final words, man?
Nope. That'll be it for this episode of the Courtside View Podcast.
Really? You know, because I remember last podcast, he was like, "Don't let the Lakers get Kyrie." Well,
at this point, it feels inevitable. So, unless the Brooklyn has decided to be the ultimate petty.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe. Remember to follow
like,
all the socials. There'll be a link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Yeah, farewell. Hey, farewell. Hey, all my niggas, farewell.